We turn it down to something a lot of people should have on your mind really year-round, how to keep families safe in an emergency.
That's right, and our next guest is here to help us do exactly that. So let's bring in former FBI agent and personal security expert James Hamilton. James, thanks for being with us. Nice to have you here.
Good afternoon. Thanks for having me.
So you say preparing for emergencies, whether they're man-made or they're natural, is similar to how we should prepare for active threats. So tell us what we should be doing with our families to prepare for just about anything.
Yeah, thanks, Amy. Well, prevention starts at home. The first thing is we want to highlight and talk about curiosity and suspicion in our families. We want to highlight the importance of intuition, and we don't want to create alibis or storylines for things we see. So this really all goes back to being an active participant in our own survival. Certainly there's government agencies that will help us, but at the end of the day, it's about us taking care of our family. And so if your child asks you a question, they're curious about a recent event, God forbid it's a shooting, instead of saying, hey, that won't happen here, let's go ahead and say, hey, it's okay to be curious. There's a low likelihood that will happen, but let's talk about a plan for something like that.
And Jamie, talk about the discussions and how it starts at home, but you also need to be as safe as possible and have a plan once you leave the home.
Yeah, okay, so we're going to go somewhere. First thing is, let's make a plan. Where are we going to meet? And then, items in our pockets that can be useful, and then we want to assess the situation. So, the first thing is, wherever we're going, do we need to go there, and do we need to go there now? And most of the times the answer is, certainly it's fine, and we can do that. But once we get to that location, let's go ahead and have a meeting place. What we call a rally point, and you can do that in two ways: a physical rally point, like the car, and then a virtual rally point, meaning you check in with your phone through a pre-established text group with your family. Because you may not be able to get back to the car in an emergency. You may be down the street at a McDonald's or something, and you just come up on the text group and say, hey, I can't make it to the car, but I'm okay. I have my sister with me, whatever. That's called a virtual rally point. And then what's in our pocket? First thing is I want to make sure I have a working cell phone. But most importantly, I want to keep that cell phone in my pocket.
So you've got the plan. What happens if, unfortunately, you find yourself in either an active threat or some sort of natural disaster? What do you do then?
Yeah, we have to take action. There's verbs that, for fire, it's stop, drop, and roll. For evacuation, it's drop, cover, and hold on. Well, in an active threat situation, the government's given us verbs, run, hide, fight, but we like to call it the rule of threes, right? And that really is distance and proximity to that threat. So at 300 feet, I want to go ahead and try to notify the police. I'm walking into a grocery store. I'm not in there yet. I see a guy walk in with a rifle. I'm going to grab my family, turn around, I'm going to go ahead and call 911. So you've got a guy walking into the store with a rifle. Let's say I'm already in the grocery store and this individual walks in and I'm about 30 feet away and I hear the gunfire or the screaming, what have you. I'm taking the family and I'm moving to those exits that I've already pre-established when I walked into the venue. I'm moving to the exit. It doesn't matter if there's a crash bar that says alarm will sound. Go ahead and set the alarm. Get your family and get out of there. And then at 3 feet, let's say you can't get out or you've barricaded into a room, locked the door with your family, and this individual is in your space now. Well, really, the only thing you can do at this moment is confront that individual. And that's a decision you're going to have to make. You're going to have to kind of already mentally have made that decision, because courage will not come to you in the moment. You have to already be thinking about these types of things. Depending on your wife, the ages of your children, they may get involved. Your wife or spouse may take the children out while you confront this individual. But the nice thing about an active threat outcome versus a natural disaster is that you get a vote in the active threat situation. You don't really get a vote in an earthquake or a hurricane or a wildfire, but an active threat, you do get a vote. You get a say in the outcome. And so I really believe in empowering individuals to save their own life.
Well, James, it's potentially life-saving advice to prepare, to plan, and to be prepared to take action. Thank you so much for joining us and sharing this information, James. We appreciate you.
Thank you, Amy.
Well, hey there, GMA fans. Robin Roberts here. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Lots of great stuff here. So go on, click the subscribe button right over here to get more of awesome videos and content from GMA every day, anytime. We thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the morning on GMA.